Hello, everyone. This is Ross from Retro Dream Beam. I'm an eBay seller full time. I've been doing this with my fiance Netta for a couple years now. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm about to go into what we were shipping out today on Monday, but just to catch up real quick, I had to skip like a Friday video. I had basically like an emergency, not personal one, but like emergency sourcing thing where someone they texted me. They're like, "Hey, I have a bunch of stuff for you, really cheap." And I'm like, "Okay, cool. I guess I have to go do the drive and do that," which was good. It was a bunch of good stuff. But what that meant was we had to pack late at night, and there only was like one item that sold by the time the Thursday video went up, all the way up to early Friday. So I just had one. I'm like, I'm not going to do a video for one item. My intro is going to be longer. All right. So this is gonna. There were some items past the one item later on that Friday. It just threw us off our game. All right. So the first thing that sold is Treasure Quest: Tombs of Ra, this RPG book right here. This is not like a super crazy one. This is D20 system, so you can use it with, I almost said Diablo, you can use it with Dungeons and Dragons. This ended up selling for $7.74. There's a lot to do today, so I've been all over the place. The next thing is All Things Zombies. Some kind of like someone's like handcrafted little, they have this little like kind of like, what is this called? Like a binding right here. The one that swerves. There's like, it looks like some clip art or something like that, or some video game-ish. It looks like Dreamcast art right there. It said that this won an award in Origins, which is a convention. So we grabbed these unique books. This one sold for $17.50. So it's just going to tell you how to play a miniature game with zombies. There's probably not like miniatures that go along with it. You probably just read the rules and figure out, you go buy some generic zombies. All right, next up is going to be a card. Oh boy, where did I put it? I have stuff all over the place. Let's see if I can find it real quick. World of Warcraft TCG card. This is Thunder Fury. What's it called? A Blessed Blade of the Windseeker. Sorry, it's been a while since we have glare right now. It's pretty bright out. But yeah, I got a bunch of these World of Warcraft cards. I looked up all the rare ones. This card's probably special to someone because it's the legendary weapon in the actual like classic game. You would have to do a bunch of like molten core raids. I think among getting some other materials and stuff. I didn't play Warrior, so I wasn't sure of like the actual like crafting requirements for this, but it was like the best in slot for them for a long time. This sold for $15.93. I'm not sure if it's actually good for the game or if they're going to use it. It could be. It's like an equipment that you can equip onto your different hero. Everyone gets to play a hero. All right, next up is going to be a really fun game. This is Silver and Gold right here. I played this game a bunch, and Netta's played it a bunch. We still have our copy. I always pick it up whenever I can. This is kind of like a Yahtzee type of game. It's called a flip and right instead of roll and right. Yahtzee, you roll dice, you make choices. This is you flip over cards, and everyone gets a bunch of little islands and a little dry erase marker, and you're trying to uncover treasures. There's also like different points and stuff to like, as you uncover stuff, as you complete an island, they'll have different, I think like symbols or colors associated with them. So you're trying to get pairs and stuff. Really fun game, $11.25. It's going to be well worth the person's money. It's a really fantastic game. Anyone can play it, and it's really quick to play. It's pretty addicting. You can sit down and play it for like a couple hours and then put it away and play it again another time. All right, next up is going to be this little brochure right here. Welcome to Massachusetts. I got a bunch of these a long time ago. We've always done pretty well with these. Not too much recently, but I mentioned it before. It's because we haven't found any to like listed new ones. So this ended up selling for $9. All right. Next up is going to be a Japanese figure right here. I have to actually look at my listing right here. This is by Bandai. No, not Bandai. Yeah, Bandai Namco. This is from Japan right here. Got this from my buddy who's into like anime stuff. This is from the Hololive. These are Vocaloids. Basically like digital characters that do songs and stuff. Like it's super popular for a lot of people like millennials, Gen Z and stuff. I don't know if Gen Alpha's into the Vocaloids, but yeah, this is what?
They're like 12.
Yeah, I think they are. I think a lot of people like the Vocaloids and stuff. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not like into the world. I just know what it is based off the card game Weiss Schwarz from a long time ago. But yeah, this is Ukami Mio. So that's the character. I don't know anything about it. She has like cat ears and something like that and just like pajamas on. So this sold for $26.24. The Japanese ones are like higher quality. So yeah, people like them. All right, next up is going to be two dinosaurs right here. Dopey-eyed little T-Rexes. I don't know if you can see. They're both the same. They're about like 5 inches high. I think they're like a better like plastic. They have like a good material. These sold for $12. I got a bunch of dinosaurs. Anetta kept the ones that she likes, but yeah. Those ones, yeah, sold as a pair for $12. Yeah, we did keep some. We already went through them like a long time ago. And there's probably a couple behind us over here. All right, moving along, we have a combo order. Two of these for $16. It's a Panzer Off G right here, and this one is a Panzer III Off E. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. German tanks from World War II. This company is New Toys Millennium. So they're kind of like these cheaper little tanks, but they have a nice little display. They're 1 out of 144 scale, just tells you what size they are. So yeah, like I said, those sold for $16. All right, next up is going to be an empty box. My favorite, my signature right here. This is Descent Journeys in the Dark, the Change That Rust expansion. So this box is still good. This is a dungeon crawl fantasy game. This is an expansion for it. It gives you a whole new like campaign, the heroes, tokens, and stuff. It's just a box. These boxes are, they can get like their corners damaged and stuff, and people just want to replace it, or maybe they want a good shelf piece behind them. The reason why this probably sold for $20 is the actual full expansion is like a couple hundred. I mean, I'm sure if you keep looking on eBay, you'll get it for slightly less, but maybe someone had like their box damaged and they don't want to buy a whole new one. They just need the actual box. They don't need the components. All right, moving along, we have a playing card deck, another signature thing of mine that I like to sell. This one is, I always just get like big batches of them. I'm not sure what this is. This one's sealed. It has 11 on it. It has like a sailor t-shirt, white and blue, like stripes on it. This says Nanbaka 11 playing card deck. Whatever that is, I'm not too sure. This sold for $8.99. But yeah, when I get playing cards, it's usually in like big bulk lots of them. And I just go through most of them. All right, next up is going to be a lots of 113 miniature wargame and acrylic pieces right here. So these probably go along with some kind of board game or miniature game. I just couldn't figure out which one it is. There's like a wound marker. There's some like arrow markers that point at things, more wounds. There's like status effects. These are really good quality. It's like someone took like a paper thing and then like an acrylic like magnifying thing on top, and then like it glued or sealed. They sealed it with something. This sold for $10.90. People do like tokens like this. They work on making their own board games. All right. Next up is going to be a book right here. Dollary's Book of Animals. I don't know if I said that correctly. This is a hardcover book. Looks pretty cool. Like I like these kind of like style books where they just like are unique and stand out. Well, we get a bunch of books. So this ended up selling for, it's like an elephant on the front. He's pulling out a tree. Really cute. This sold for $12.75. It might be like an art book. It says the New York Review Children's Collection. So some kind of children's art book. All right, next up is going to be Horde Circle of Ouroboros. I have trouble saying that. They're the werewolf faction, the nature faction. They have storm, lightning, werewolves, stuff like that. They have golems, stone creatures. These are called, I think, skinwalkers. They're gonna be these. This is for the War Machine Hordes game. This is the Hordes fantasy section. But yeah, this is just the kits. This is how they kind of like look like in the boxes. You open up the box and they're kind of like in these small baggies. I put my own baggie on top of it, but that's beside the point. But yeah, I think these characters, they're like bigger war beasts. They come in like usually like a unit of 5 or 6, and they hunt down people and stuff like that. That's their job. $22.49. I made a random note that I spent $3.75 on that on auction last year. All right, next up is going to be some sleeves. These right here. I always grab sleeves. I don't like to waste them. This is a lot of 42 orange Ultra Pro glossy ones. Yeah, a lot of these companies for sleeves. So this sold for $6.25. Nothing too crazy. 47 is kind of like an odd number. That means someone's probably picking this up because they had the sleeves on a deck for Magic, Pokemon. This is not Yu-Gi-Oh size. Whatever standard size card game, there's a lot of them. They probably had some that ripped. They need to replace a couple of sleeves, so that's why they get like a backup pack. Yeah, a lot of games have like 60 cards, 75 is a good number, 100 is a good number, 80 is a good number, and 30 and 40 are a good number. So 42 is a weird one. Yeah, I don't want to go into all the nuances of like what the numbers mean for different card games. I've just either played a bunch or know a bunch about it. But yeah, $6.25, that's something that someone would probably like. It's a throw-in for stuff usually for me. All right. Moving along, another thing is a dice set for Journeys in the Dark 2nd edition. This is from the core game. So yeah, these gray, black, and brown dice are the defensive dice. The red dice and yellow dice are the power dice, and the blue die is the attack die. So yeah, Journeys in the Dark, you have a lot of like, eventually when you get later into the campaign, this is all you get in the game. And then say, for example, if you have to roll 3 yellow dice, they say in the rule book, like pick one, remember what you rolled, and roll another one. But there's a lot of like re-rolls in the game, and then also these dice are really interesting because they don't just have numbers, they have a bunch of different symbols. So trying to like remember what you rolled and then add in another one. It's a competitive game too, against up to 4 people in a dungeon like Overlord versus the players. So I'm assuming the person's picking up more of these just so the players can have more dice, so they don't have to always pass them around, or in the situations where you need more of the individual colors. I almost kept this for myself because I do play the game occasionally. This sold for $17.99 for the dice. Those are pretty good. I think Fantasy Flight Games also sold them in like a clamshell, like extra dice. So sealed, it does even better. All right, moving along, we have some Necromunda, which is Warhammer 40k. Right here, these are corpse grinders. They're just 3 incomplete little screws. So there's still pieces missing. There's no like bases, but they're still pretty like there's a lot of pieces on them. So someone might want to modify their figures, or maybe they have like the other pieces, or they're just going to make them custom. You know, if they're missing a base, they'll add the base. If they're missing like, I don't know, some legs or something, they'll use some stuff to make some legs. Oh yeah, this sold for $35.05. So that's really awesome. The bits and pieces have done pretty well. That was less bits and PCE. I don't even know how to say it. That was more full. That was more complete than my normal bits and pieces. All right, next up is going to be some D&D map. This is from 4th edition right here. This is going to be a double-sided map. On one side, it's like a tavern, and then this is like going to be gridded. So this was for 4th edition. There was like this box that I bought. That was like a starter set that no one bid on because, oh, right here's a pretty cool cave. Yeah, no one bid on it because it didn't have the most valuable thing, which was like the monster standees and tokens and heroes, but it did have the box, all the maps, all the booklets. So I parted it out. This sold for $14.99. Yeah, people use that stuff all the time. Really cool, like maps. A lot of people like role-playing games and use that stuff. All right, next up is going to be some more bits and pieces. These are Chaos old Space Marine ones right here. It looked like someone had like spray painted some brown on it, started chipping off, but I let people know in there. There's like legs and like jetpacks in here. So these are definitely bits and pieces compared to the other thing I showed you. This sold for $18.74. It was labeled old Space Marine cast, so I'm assuming old meant, I think these were from like 1999 or something, which is probably why they were more valuable. All right. Next up is going to be Monster Apocalypse dice and like a little life counter, if I can find it right here. Monster Apocalypse was a collectible little miniature game with monsters. You have a big monster and a bunch of small ones. Here's where you keep track of, I think it's the health tracker. What's the bottom part? I'm not sure what the bottom blue part is. It's been a bit since I played it. And these dice right here, red and blue, I think are attack dice. And then actually all of these are different types of attack dice. They'll have like the white one will have less like hit markers on them. The red will have more, something like that. So like the dice are going to have different tiers of which ones are stronger. This little set, which is like what a starter set comes in, that's how I got a bunch of this stuff at one point. I just made like mini starter sets. So like when you open up the starter, you get health tracker, 24 dice, $11 for that. That one's pretty good. All right, moving along, we sold one of the dodos right here, purple pink dodo. We actually did not know what this was when I was like sourcing, and then just got a box of stuff, and then I opened it up on one of our videos here, but it's some kind of like dodo figurine. My only guess, it's like a pretty good like ceramic quality. My only guess is this is maybe for some video game that I just can't recognize. So if someone happens to know, let me know in the comments down below. But someone bought it for $12.74. I think we also got like another dodo. Sorry for the styrofoam noisies. I know it looks familiar. It may be like a PlayStation game or something like that. It sold for $12.74. I really want to know. I just couldn't figure it out. Like a reverse image search, did not find it. All right. Next up right here, we have the Liberty collection right here. This just has like a bunch of, I think just like all of the different like important documents for the United States, Star Spangled Banner. We have the Gettysburg Address, Monroe document, the Bill of Rights right here. So yeah, everyone's pretty political right now, so I'm not too shocked that this thing is sold. I'm sad it only sold for $6. I must have gotten this a long time ago. It has the Constitution and stuff. This is obviously not the actual Constitution. It's like it's just someone did a mock-up, right? So this ended up selling for $6. All right, next up, which one? No. Oh, yeah, you think the person thinks it's real? They're like, I bought the official Constitution for $6. All right, next up is going to be this really cool handmade Polish like children's toy. So there was an estate sale we went to at one point. It was someone from Poland. They had a lot of cool stuff on their desk, like a lot of little knickknacks. We ended up buying it. It's like a little boy on like a fake toy horsey. It's made of like felt and wood, so probably something that you would buy in a market there. This ended up selling for $10. I think this might be going actually eBay International. Which one? Oh yeah, I'm sorry. You can't really. I can't open up. It's already sealed up. So yeah, I try to describe it the best I can. But yeah. All right. They can see under our solds if they want to take a look at it. All right, moving along, we have this right here, did I put 1960s? Is this 19? I don't know where you got this. I put 1960s pair of Thai dancers right here. I think Adetta got this a long time ago, estate sale. No, not estate sale, like Goodwill. I don't think it ended up doing well. I think this like comped for more at the time.
No, we sold like two other couples like that for more, like 20 each.
she said we sold like other ones that were similar for 20 each when I think people had more money. 2020, 2021. This ended up only selling for $6. I'm glad to get the space. Someone's going to appreciate it. I think we had it down to like $9 after our like sale price kicked in. All right, moving along right here, we have this CD. It's Autolux. Well, I can't say that one. It's a sealed CD right here. Yeah, it's sealed. It has this like cool skull with some like eyeballs shooting out of it. I have no idea what band this is. This ended up selling for $6.98. Got a bunch of CDs for cheap. All right, moving along, we have these really cool magazines, HDRI 3D little magazines. I think they talk about different like digital like art and stuff. Really cool to go through. I also had like another lot of 4 listed right now. So it says issues 7 and 8 in the side. So little combo order. I think it's going to Canada. This ended up selling for $11.50. These were really fun to go through. Annetta finds these, she's really good at finding the good like magazines at all sorts of places. And we've done pretty well with them. All right, next up, this one is going to be Almanac right here. This is a Sweden one from 1950. I actually remember where we got this. Do you remember where we got this? This was like a yard sale. I think it was in like, I can't remember what state. We went to a different state. We did some yard sailing, and there was a lot of cheap stuff we found. This was in a big box of books. They had a big box of books, and I asked them like what was the price on like one book I wanted, and they said you can take the whole box for $2. So I was like, okay, done. Okay, listed everything. I think that we only have 2 books left from that box. It's been 3 or 4 years since we got that box. $12.15. Stuff just happens when you get lucky. But yeah, I'm not too sure about that other than almanacs are like a pretty cool concept. All right, next up is going to be, well, I just know them from video games. I don't actually know. All right, we're moving on. Right here, these are KMC sleeves. Again, doing pretty well with sleeves. This is a pack of 49 instead of 100. These are called Perfect Fit sleeves for a card game. KMC was a really well-known brand. I think they're still well-known, but people keep an eye out for what the packaging looks like because sometimes people have theories that like, oh, the materials change, the size changed, the thickness. A lot of people talk a lot about like the specific sleeve that they like. You put these on cards, they protect them, and then you can put those Perfect Fit sleeve cards within other sleeves. So that's just to protect it from like water damage and stuff. I never really did that. This sold for $5.99. People do like that stuff. All right, next up is going to be this right here. We already sold one of these. This one had like a seal rip right here. So you can see one of the cards kind of went flying over there. Everything's still pretty good. The person's probably just going to honestly open up the tin and the Pokeballs, open up the packs. This ended up selling for $59.99. I have another one, so I relisted it. It doesn't have the seal rip, so yeah, that one's going to be cheaper than the other one I sold, but people love Pokemon. All right, moving along, we have a set of 810 vintage John Hancock Center, Chicago, Illinois little coasters. So yeah, cool little knickknacks like these we pick up all the time. People do like this stuff, especially when it's branded. These ended up selling for $9. All right, we're almost there. We're almost done. Next up is a combo order for 2 of the Lord of the Rings cards. These are rares. We have Flaming Brand right here, and then this is Secret Sentinels right here. It just shows like the rarity and what set they're from down there. The person paid $19.98. I looked up all the rares that were worth listing separately, and then I also did a bunch of lots and stuff. I did a video on all the Lord of the Rings stuff cards we got. And then second to last. Sorry, I'm trying to figure this out. All right, Warhammer 40K bits and pieces right here. This is a lot of 50 of them. These were, what faction were these? I have the Chaos. Yeah, these are Chaos bits and pieces right here. This was the last bits and pieces in the particular baggie. So I think of that original lot of all bits and pieces I bought, I think I have like 2 things left. But then I got some new ones like these and stuff like that. So yeah, this sold for $14.99. That was like a really good, lucky find for us. All right, and then the last thing, which I think sold on another platform, is right here. This is a daily planner. We get a bunch of, I think Anna's mom gave us this to us, or maybe we got this cheap at a thrift store or something. Really nice like planner. It's like bound right here. Has some like flower pens, really good flower art in the front. Even has like stickers and stuff you can add onto your planner. People like this kind of stuff. This ended up selling for, I'm going to take a guess because it's on eBay, probably like $8 to $12 or something like that. All right, so that's everything. But one last thing, just want to let you know what we were doing over the weekend. So Netta was playing a bunch of Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. So she's on her like 4th or 5th run. She's been obsessed with it. And then she bought me XCOM Part 2, the whole collection on Steam. So I was digging into that game, and it's a really fun tactical game. I used to like, I love tactical games, not all the time, but like I like the Fire Emblem series, Advance Wars, any board games that are tactical, like chess and stuff like that. I love all the tactics. This game was really involved, so it's a super hard one. I'm still like getting a hold onto the game itself, but I played for like 12 hours while she was playing like Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, but we have a bunch of eBay to do, packing and stuff, so I won't be able to play until a couple days. All right, thank you for watching. Wait, which one?
Aneta wants it known that she hates space and sci-fi.
Oh, Aneta wants it known that she dislikes space and sci-fi. Well, XCOM 2, it is super space and sci-fi. We both like fantasy a lot more. But I think the actual sci-fi is pretty well done in the XCOM. There's actually like a lot of story. She's downvoting it. You never played it. All right, that's okay. All right, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Have a good one.